Stress, a word that we all know and use too well. Stress is something that we deal with every day, but yet it still freaks us out. We can encounter stress from our different social, living, school, and work environments. We can also encounter stress when we put too much pressure on ourselves and our minds and bodies to succeed. Today, I'm going to go over the causes of stress, the effects of stress on our bodies and minds, and what we can do to reduce stress. So, what causes stress? I'm sure that every one of you is familiar with that question and has multiple answers to that. Being high schoolers, the pressures of balancing our academics and our extracurricular activities, maintaining relationships, and keeping up with responsibilities like jobs and volunteering can all stress us out and weather us down. But what else causes stress? According to rodalewellness.com, the leading causes of stress are major life events such as the sickness or the death of a loved one, your diet and exercise. An excess amount of sugar, alcohol, and caffeine can place stress on your body, and too much or too little exercise can also stress you out. Financial issues, legal conflict, and emotional difficulties are all also ways we can stress ourselves out. So, we are all familiar with what causes stress, and we all encounter stress daily, but how do we deal with it? According to health.com, humans have found some pretty unhealthy ways we tend to deal with stress. But first, we're going to talk about the effects of stress on our bodies. When we are stressed, the hypothalamus, the part of the brain which releases hormones, releases adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline raises your blood pressure and your heart rate and your energy levels, and cortisol releases glucose into your bloodstream, also resulting in a surge of energy. And this is according to BBC Science. When these two hormones are present in your body for a long amount of time, when you're stressed for a long amount of time, problems can start to occur. Your blood pressure can raise, your risk of heart attacks and strokes also raises, and your immune system can also be weakened, and the risk of developing viral infections also increases. When you are stressed for a long amount of time, you can also develop anxiety conditions. Some conditions that you can develop are panic disorders, post-traumatic stress disorder, social phobias, and obsessive compulsive disorder. So we all encounter stress daily, but we have found some unhealthy ways to cope with it. Health.com has laid out some ways that humans tend to deal with stress. Some ways that we deal with stress are smoking, drinking alcohol, bullying or lashing out against others, isolating ourselves from other people, and unhealthy eating habits. Eating too much or too little is another way that people tend to deal with our stress. Ignoring the problem, we also tend to do that, and all of these ways can just add more stress to our lives. But what are some ways that we should healthily deal with stress? According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, some healthy ways that we deal with stress are to take care of ourselves. A healthy diet and exercise is one of the main goals. Like I said before, too much or too little exercise and an unhealthy diet can affect us and add more stress to our lives. So having a well-balanced diet and an appropriate exercise routine can help us alleviate stress. Another way we can take care of ourselves is to tidy up. Being in a messy work environment, school environment can add hassle and stress to our daily lives. Talking to others. Placing yourselves in social situations could stress yourself out, but talking to a trusted friend can help you recognize your problems and help alleviate stress. Another way we can alleviate stress is to take a break. Get off of social media. I admit I'm guilty of spending hours on social media, and I bet everybody else is too. But having everybody's lives and opinions on one social media platform can get too overwhelming and too stressful. So take a break from social media. Read a book, take a walk, or do a puzzle. Any activity that you enjoy to take your mind off of other things. So we all understand how stress occurs. We can all identify ways that stress does occur, but stress also has a large effect on our bodies. The risk for heart attacks and strokes can increase, as well as a weakened immune system and anxiety conditions. And then some ways that we can deal with stress are taking a break from social media and taking care of ourselves. But it is possible with these ways to stay healthy and stress and unstressed. Thank you.